It's another AE Connects conversation. The guest of this evening, well, this evening in the United States, at least on the East Coast, is Cameron Healy, who is on to Tuesday already. It's Tuesday morning there in Australia, so hopefully we'll have Cameron join.
Hey,
Cameron, how you
Sam.
doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you checking in from?
So, I just saw as you were talking then. Yeah, I was on a boat with my family and friends. We just moved to their apartment, which is close to the water. So, I'm in Newport, Sydney, Australia right now.
Okay. When did you get off the boat?
About 5, 6 days ago. So, it was a good adjustment, but yeah, I think it was too long on the boat. 2.5 weeks was about all I could do. It was pretty crowded. So,
Yeah, I had a feeling you wouldn't be on it anymore, which I wish we got you on sooner so we could you could give us a little tour of what it was like, but you'll have to describe it instead. What I guess let me start from the beginning. So obviously you were able to make it back to Australia. You're from Sydney, if I remember correctly, or whereabouts?
yeah, I'm from Sydney.
Okay. So you were able to get back there, and that's where the boat was?
Yeah, so we were in basically the harbor of Sydney, and pretty much prime location for me, being in my hometown and getting to see the water. I don't live normally near the water, so it was really nice.
That's awesome. And you obviously the biggest benefit here is you got to be back with your family, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. I was staying with my parents. My mom came in actually, and it bumped our quarantine time back. So you had to do 14 days from when she came. So it ended up being like 2.5 weeks on the boat, but it was an awesome spot to be.
Yeah, so how did that all come about? I mean, you've probably been on this boat before if they're family friends, no?
No, actually, it's a new boat for them. So we had to do quarantine somewhere, and they just moved towards the beaches in Newport. And they live further in, I guess, the suburbs where I lived in Sydney, called Warunga. So they just moved up here, and they had their boat, which was free. And we were like, we have nowhere else to stay. Can we please stay there? And they were able to help us out and be really good hosts.
Why did you have no other place to stay?
So my parents own a place. My dad moved to New Zealand with my mom about a year and a half ago. And we do have a place in Sydney, but it's being rented out right now, so we can't stay there. So I guess we're kind of couch surfing right now, but we're going to figure out our next spot in a couple weeks.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely tough. I mean, when you obviously knew you were getting into that too when you left Albany. So
Yeah.
you're in your mind though, you were like, I just want to get back to my family and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, exactly. So Australia was closing its borders. My dad and I were talking about where we can go. I had some family in Indiana, and I kept saying, Dad, I don't want to be in Indiana for a couple of months. I'd rather be in Australia if I can. So I guess it was a little bit rushed to go back. I headed back with my dad, and they pretty much were calling back all residents to Australia. So we just made it in time. Everything went smoothly. And yeah, I was just really happy. As soon as I got in the country, it was kind of just a sigh of relief because everything that's going on right now.
Let's describe that boat then. Huh? How many people were on there with you?
So it was just me and my two parents.
Okay.
And yeah, we really had to keep ourselves busy. It was a very confined space. So, we were doing anything from playing cards, playing poker to there was actually a kayak as well that we could take out. So I was going up and down the harbor, getting
Nice.
some exercise in. But yeah, just trying to stay busy, learning a little bit. I was reading and trying to stay off my phone as much as possible, just spend this time doing something productive, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So the family wasn't, they just allowed you guys to stay on there. They weren't
Yeah.
actually a part of it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that means you weren't able to drive anywhere on the boat either. You were just stationed.
No, no, we were just stuck there in the port.
Yeah. And I'm also guessing no Wi-Fi, no TV.
We had Wi-Fi. We're using a personal hotspot off my dad's phone.
Okay.
And I did set up a DVR player, but there was only a play button. So, like one time I had to stop halfway through Lion King, and then I couldn't watch the rest. So,
That's a bummer. I hope you know how it ends.
no, yeah, I've seen it before. Don't worry about that.
I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Disney movie that
Spoilers.
I keep thinking, what'd you say?
No spoilers, man.
Yeah, yeah. The Disney movie I keep thinking of when you mentioned Sydney and being in the harbor is Finding Nemo. I've never been to Australia, so that's the only thing I can picture. P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Yeah, that's a real place, by the way. That's a real dentist.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
You go there?
Interesting
Is that your
fact.
dentist?
No. It's too far away from me.
Okay. How do you like? Is P. Sherman a real person? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if Pete Sherman's a real person, but I've heard from a lot of people that's a real spot. So
All
makes
right.
sense.
All right. Fair enough. If and when I do make it down, I'll have to check that out then. What are you're drinking coffee right now, right? It's Tuesday morning. I should have said good morning to you originally.
Yeah, it's 10 a.m. So trying to wake up.
Yeah, I figured. I
Yeah.
tweeted and I was like, he might not be up right now. This was like 3 hours ago. But how's Tuesday looking? We're all trying to look ahead to brighter days. What can you tell us about Tuesday?
Tuesday, man, not much different to the other days, to be honest. But I'm living close to the beach right now, so it's about a 15-minute walk. I just walk down to the beach, hang out for a little bit there, take it all in, and walk back. I don't normally get to be at the beach. And since I moved to since I moved to the States 5 years ago, every time I come home in like June or July, it's normally winter in Australia. So this is my first real opportunity where I get to be here when the weather's good. So I'm just trying to make the most of it and just spend as much time outside because you're allowed to exercise. So just as much time I can spend at the beach, I'm going to take it.
Hopefully you're back in a gym or even back in the States sometime soon. We'll see. Time will tell. But it was fun catching up with you. It's probably the first time in my entire life I've talked to somebody who's in morning and you're in the morning and I'm at night. And I don't know, it worked out pretty well, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it worked out great. Thanks for having me, Sam.
Appreciate it, Cameron. Be well. Good luck in the recovery, and hope you and your family is healthy.
Thank you. You too. Hope you stay safe. All the best.